Hey everybody, this is Matt Miller. I want to talk to you about something I've been doing with my class in Honors Pre-Calc throughout this year. It's called the flipped classroom or flipped instruction. So what is a flipped classroom? What is flipped instruction? So let's take a look at the traditional approach versus the flipped approach right here, okay? Basically, at least in my subject area, and I'm sure for most of you, it's about theory and practice. Theory and practice. So in school, traditionally, we present the theory, and at home, the students get to practice. Okay, we present our theory through lecture, examples, using whatever resources we have come to learn and utilize. And at home, the students do exercise, practice, um, and do homework problems based on the theory that was presented in class that day. And in the flipped classroom, it's just exactly what it says. It's flipped. So the theory is presented in those same methods, but it's presented at home. So I utilize any number of resources, which I'll share with you, make video presentations like you're watching right now, and make those available to the students through Moodle. They watch them, they replay them, they go through them, and then the next day they come into school. Okay, I present them with a series of problems, worksheets, textbook problems, what have you, and I guide them, or I work with them, or they work with each other. They get through the problems. Okay, questions are answered immediately. I identify errors as soon as they occur, and it generally has been a very productive atmosphere. So how can I share with you some of the things that I've been doing in terms of presentations? Well, let's look at some of the things that I use. I use a graphic calculator, so I can instruct the students how to turn it on, okay, how to look at and construct graphs, okay, by keying in a particular graph that we want to see, show them piece by piece what we have to do in order to graph that function, okay. So if I wanted to take a look at a certain graph, I can type it in. 2x plus 7 is the graph I want to see, and instruct them as to how to go about and see that actual graph. Okay. All right. So that's one example. All right. I have a software package called the Math Expert. Okay. The Math Expert runs through, as you can see up here, algebra, pre-calc, calculus, and everything else. I can run through and go through simple factoring that is runs the gamut from algebra through calculus. We can say, okay, here's some problems. Let's see, how does this factor? And students can guess at it. They can check with it, but then we can auto finish it right away. Okay, and they have their problem done. Then we can move to a next one. We can factor that, and they can go through steps, show the steps. Okay, all right, guess at the factor, present it, immediately we get an answer. Okay, so on and so forth. Okay, I also have, okay, we've utilized Excel spreadsheets. I've done an amortization table with my students. I make this table available to them through Moodle. We can take a house that we are looking to buy, $325,000. All right, and we can say, well, how much down you're going to put? You're going to put down 5%, and you're going to have what is going to be your interest rate. So we'll say, okay, it's 4.5, and we can then look at the amortization table that's generated. And I have to give thanks to Mark Kravitz for generating this template and allowing me to use it. Thank you, Mark. Okay. Also, we have some other things that I am utilizing in the classroom here. Okay. I have the Sketchpad. I have, this is a this is a graphics package here, which is from the Algebra in Motion. It allows me to demonstrate variations on the equation of a line. We're looking at a line of the form f of x equals e to the x plus k. I can show with the various sliders changing the slope, how the line is changed, changing the y-intercept, how the position of the line is changed, but the slope is not. Okay, so these are just some of the things which I utilize. I also could look at even, a worksheet and say, well, how do we solve particular problems? I could do right on there with my tablet, okay, and I could say, well, what is the sine of 210 degrees? Of course, then we'd want to say, well, where is 210 degrees? Here it is. It's 30 degrees into the third quadrant, okay, where the sine, okay, is negative. So then we would know that the sine of 210 degrees is negative 1/2. I wonder if you remember that from your high school trigonometry days, okay? So then how is all this presented to the students? It is presented via Moodle. Moodle has, as you can see here, I have all my presentations in here from the very beginning, first week of school, okay, all the way down to looking into the present weeks that we're in now, okay. I have instructions, okay, what are you going to be expected for class? Here it is, okay, so detailed instructions of what's coming for that day, okay, and instructing them where to go and look at what, okay. We have, certain things here. I have PowerPoint presentations, okay, that I'm not going to open up because of the time consumption, but I have one down here I can show you. I have PowerPoint presentations, some with geometry, okay, and others with trigonometry, all your favorite stuff, right? Okay, and the PowerPoint presentations I just make available to the students, leave them as PowerPoint presentations. That sometimes, a lot of times, I'll run through the PowerPoint presentations, much like I'm kind of showing you here, and say, okay, well, what is the sine of 30? And they say, oh, it's 1/2. Well, first off, it looks like it's turning into radians, but sine of 30 is 1/2, right? What is the sine of 45? Root 2/2. You better know that. You got to know this entire table. So I can walk them through, do voiceovers with presentations like this, okay? I can implement, like I said here, the math expert through any number, pre-calculus, calculus topics. I can walk them through which buttons to push on their calculator. Okay, they certainly know which buttons to push, don't they? Okay, so there you have that. Okay, amortizations tables, spreadsheet applications, the likes. Okay, so it's all good, and it's all brought to you, again, brought to the students on the Moodle page. Okay, and they just go through, like I say, they watch the videos. Here's some videos are links to Khan Academy. Again, here's some worksheets, okay, that I asked them to do. So I provide them the worksheet, okay, downloading. It's probably coming up here now, I guess. There's all good stuff. That's exactly how I run my classroom. That's how I run the flipped classroom, okay, for my, there's the worksheet finally popping up. And again, I can walk them through, tell them, okay, how do we graph this? Okay, this is an example we had in class on the worksheet today. So how do we end up graphing this? So I can, go through and show them and say, look at this, it's not cooperating for me right now, but okay, how do you like that? So goes it, right? But like I showed you earlier, I could go through and walk through examples exactly how that is done. That's my flipped classroom. That's my pre-calculus class. Okay, welcome any questions, comments, and any advice that you might have. Hope you enjoyed it. And everything there is presented and done for us by this little button here, which is, okay, the recorder, which is, it's what I had available through the SmartBoard technology, which I'm sure you can get as well. So this then, once I click that button, I'm going to save this this file, this video file, and then I'm going to upload that to YouTube, and then copy and paste the link into my Moodle page for the students. And that's exactly what I'm going to